Okay, so there you are. What else did we say to you? We've said it's all about Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. Look at the structure. We made that. We said it might overperform. We got new setups. We said it's going to run 68.51 on our Twitter channel, and you should be following. Are you following at the Crypto Sniper on Twitter? Are you following at the Market Sniper? I don't know. Maybe you're not. Who cares? But if you want to hear stuff, you know, occasionally we say stuff. But the people who hear it all first are the people in my community, and they get the opportunities first. That wind up was made, that was done. That's on the daily. Then we looked at the smaller time frames. We said this structure exists. So all of this cleverness, we said it's going to go up top here. Then you got kind of our target made. So let me show you that target again. That was made there. You would have been out. That was the end of bullishness for Bitcoin for me, because the dominance has driven the bullishness. This is what people don't get. 68.51, you were done quick and teasy, Japanesey. It's all there. 10th of July. Where was Bitcoin 10th of July? Let's grab him quickly and get him. Bitcoin, oh, that's the longs, wrong chart. Where was Bitcoin 10th of July? Remember that word, 10th of July, 10th of July, 10th of July. Here you go. You would have got out near the secondary high. That would have been a great place to get. That's it. The dominance was up. You'd made the target. All that comes is structural build-up with largely softening. Bitcoin will be what's happened so far is Bitcoin dominance has driven the bull market. This is what I need people to grasp. And this is not just a recent trend. This is actually, let's just clarify on the bigger time frame. Let's take it to the bigger time frame. Bitcoin dominance since this low, which effectively was the beginning of the year, we bottomed December. Bitcoin dominance has brought cryptos back. When Bitcoin dominance is going to go up, overall crypto is going up and Bitcoin is going up faster. That's the situation. Yes, you would have doubted that for a long time, from September all the way through to May the following year. It was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. But that's part of understanding charting and continuation patterns, and that's what we give you. So, you know, patience would have been there, you would have backed off. Since that 65.8 target is went, you had a marginally push higher, you get some bear flag structure. Guess what? Bitcoin dominance is down. So actually some of the alts on the up days have gone up a little bit more than Bitcoin, but then on the down days, they've all gone down, and in some instance, Bitcoin has gone down more than them. This has not been a bullish environment. It's part of a stale out period that is bloodletting some of the froth out of the game. So that is the reason why we talk about Bitcoin dominance, and we understand the understanding of the reading of that analysis across versus the others. So that is why crypto hasn't been the game. I want to be net long in Bitcoin dominance bullish patterns. It's a head and shoulders. It could go down further. This is further to the comments I've just made to you, that I see short term a bit more downside. And this is where you're getting dual analysis from a multiple points, multiple different points of data from charting. So you've got a head and shoulder right now in Bitcoin dominance. So what do? I draw the damn thing. Where's the nearest logical round number? 67.5. Makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? It puts all the other lines on. I put it in pink. We'll change it to light blue. So you could, there's the line I've drawn, go all the way back to support at our funnel, which is part of our strategy, and on as part of this. That doesn't mean it has to make the target of the downside, but it means it's there to be done. Low vol, right shoulder, then a spill on that neckline, return move, and now drifting down. This could drift and drift. You know, I'd never made that micro on Bitcoin, the head and shoulders. We don't typically trade them. It's just bearish. It might make it, it might not. I'm not trading short. I'm not interested. We're in a bull market macro. We're in a bull market super macro. We're in a bullish trend market. And this is now medium time frame, 4 hours and getting up to daily, but we actually are still a bull on the daily. We're just having a pullback in a bull. But on the 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, we've been in a bear cycle. Do I want to trade a short-term head and shoulders in overall green lights? No, the probabilities are less strong. Don't take every trade. Line all the green lights or all the red lights up. When you have that, trade long and short. Otherwise, stay out of the market. You've got too much compulsion and you want to be in the game all the time. So over here, do we trade it short? No, but my feeling is generally we're probably going to drift off. Bit of a support level now. Okay, it messes around, might come a little bit up and then break a little bit lower. The other thing we spoke to you about in cryptos, Ethereum, Bitcoin, we said Ethereum is going to lose value from 2.5. We actually have a target out there at 17.6. I've just managed to get into it all the wrong time. So I got shaken out there because I went a little chunky. And then I've not traded it particularly well, but the call is a good one. But I haven't been active, and I was away, and I only did it twice. But in both instances, I thought, nah, getting on the wrong. Most spikes get shorted. Okay. And normally I execute far better, but it's almost funny to actually probably end up. I still think the call is right. It's going to 17.6. So there's going to be another sell-off. By the way, if Ethereum is going down to Bitcoin, the dominance will be returning, but it may be not yet ready to do that. So it's had a little bit of a snapback rally. Many of these spikes don't live long. The rally comes back down. The rally come back down. The final push up, you come back down. 2.5 has been surrendered. That was the level I said get your shorts on. Hold for 17.68. Our community had that earlier. Many of my guys executed that one better than me. It was just a funny one. I was sort of half interested. I was too busy playing the Bitcoin, and then I just chose my moments incorrectly and didn't execute well. So we do that all the time. We forgive ourselves. We close quickly and we take minor small losses. It's fine. It's all good. It's part of the game because you're making big gains and you're making real big moves when you're accurate. So this is like small amount of mini tax. It's like paying a toll road on a freeway. It's just a hassle, and it's part of doing business. But guess what? You get to be on the Autobahn and go real fast, and it's small money compared to what you're making if you're executing correctly. So losses are part of the game. I really want to remind you guys of that. So ETHBTC, I'm still bearish. This is going a little bit convex here. What's going to happen? Roll over and potentially come down. So you getting a bit of an eye. One that actually I haven't covered or spoken much about, the Binance coin. Let's capture it from the very beginning. This is one I don't talk immense amount about because you have to be on Binance to use it. And I've got a Binance, and I am, but I've spread resources around and I want leverage. And Binance is still promising to bring something like that on it, because when I'm right, I like to be damn right, and I'm okay and responsible when I'm wrong to manage that. So this is the history of Binance at a technical level. I'm giving you some very basic stuff. We go into much more detail when we do HVF analysis, but you kind of had a squeeze and break there. It's been a net bull against Bitcoin. It's one of the few that has been a net bull against Bitcoin. So there you go, squeeze up through the bear market and the bull market. Yes, Litecoin has done great, but recently it's now been soft. So here you have, again, a falling wedge. This is just a diagram for falling wedges, doing some awesome new material for our self-study, replacing the old one and revisiting various coins. Then you get a little bit of head and shoulder structure, and then you have a minor fizzle, and then you just go up. You see why you don't trade head and shoulders in a bull market. You can get this nonsense left and right. That's why it's not there. Grind, grind, grind. Then you absolutely mooned it. This is against Bitcoin. Binance coin against Bitcoin, by the way. From November into the bull market, Binance was big. I don't trust particularly Binance. Funds are safer. I think they got given a large amount of Bitfinex's market share because they play the game for the control structure, and they didn't create a dollar substitute like Tether. Maybe there was shenanigans with Tether. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. FunSafe, maybe, okay. That's not the best platform. I don't always find it to be that liquid, especially when you compare it to derivative markets like BitMEX. But even still, when you compare it to ones that are supposedly getting more volume on, I'm a bit neutral. I'm a bit meh. It's not such a great platform. Anyway, up you go. And then you get volatility. Snap up, snap down. Snap up higher, snap down harder. Rally back. This is high volatility against Bitcoin. What does that mean? It needs a shakeout, it needs to calm down, and it's probably bearish. Sell off, no more vim in the snapback, drift, drift, drift. So it's in a falling wedge, possibly, potentially, according to me, and now in a rising wedge for another dip down. That could imply some Bitcoin dominance, possibly, on a shorter time frame. So that's a little bit for you about a coin I haven't spoken a great deal around. Just using wedges, You'll learn much more how we draw wedges, etc., etc. Nice little inverted structure there. Once again, didn't make target, just went to the low end of the wedge. Now it's grinding along, but the spike's getting sold off. Getting low volatility. Yeah, I don't know. This could pop out the top now. This little fractal looks like it could possibly pop out the top, but overall in time I would expect it to dip down through this particular line here. So that's Binance. But overall, Binance has been a bull. When the bull market comes back and Bitcoin dominance comes back, if you can then get leverage, then Binance could be a very interesting coin. If you're going to park up and tie up funds and have to hodl it, well, if you're trading like that, or you're investing like that, should I say, then it might be one for you to invest. I like to be able to max my good decisions out because overall I make more money because I balance my, I take small losses. And I make enough good decisions generally, but I make plenty bad ones. Okay, so that's Binance Coin. What have I told you about today? I've told you about Bitcoin, what I expect to have happen, why it's going to probably be a little bit lackluster for a while longer and probably dip a little lower, but that it's not calamitous overall. So you could buy it with an 8 number at some point, maybe even high 7s. It could go through there. I don't feel it's going much beyond that. I don't feel it's going much beyond that on balance of probabilities. That's my current scenario most likely, but other scenarios do exist. But overall, I think short-term bear, more medium to long-term, after that little bear aspect has been allowed to play out, we could actually start to make lows. If it just sells off and holds the grind line, the base level I've established here, and doesn't run it, we could get quite early into a breakout of the wedge that could see some high momentum to the upside. But first, I think that sell-off is needed. That final bleed out of selling. This sell-off period was quite consistent and long, although it had legs in it. It wasn't all one leg, which was showing the buying there. Okay, we'll have to see if those drift buyers will show up and buy here again. Generally they do, and that's my bias. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. That's my best take. What else did I show you? Ethereum, BTC, and it's largely been an accurate call, 25 to the short side, looking for 17.68. That would imply Bitcoin dominance coming back into the game. Because Ethereum is one of the biggest market cap alts, so you would expect alts generally to be suffering a little bit, although Ethereum might suffer a little more in a relative sense. Overall, that would require dominance to come back. I need dominance to come back to be a believer in the bull element for crypto as a whole to come back. So you should all be cheering for some Bitcoin dominance, but at the moment you might have some easing in this environment. We'd like to see it support and stay above the final and fail to make that head and shoulder target. That would all be bullish signs for us. Nice rounded bottom somewhere over here, a couple of hammers. Let's draw it for you. Let's fantasize. There you go, a little bit of a marginally lower low, rate of descent drops, couple of hammers here with wicks and reversals. There she goes. Look at that drawing, isn't it masterful? I reckon a 3-year-old would be impressed by that. Another hammer, rounded, and up you go, and then we start to get a nice impulsive move and some continuation pattern setups. There you go, and off you go, and we start heading back up in dominance, and I think that will bring the overall crypto market bull. There will be a point. Remember, I showed you from the beginning of the year, dominance has been the driver of this crypto. There will be a point at some level. People are going to be way too soon calling it. Stay with the trend of Bitcoin. All my longs have been Bitcoin, and I've made plenty out of being long Bitcoin during these bullish periods. Try avoid giving anything back during these consolidating, drifting off moments. Forget this alt and that alt and trying to pick the next chain link that will moon and all of it. Lots of pumps and rams. There's still a lot of crap in alt land that needs chucking out. All these various different tokens, all on the same function. What is the raison d'etre? There's crap out there, and it needs to get, I would prefer to see them being thinned out. That would be the sign of a real proper end to the alt crap and the shitcoin phenomenon, where those that have a real raison d'etre exist and remain, and that could be very, very, very powerful, and that then could start a whole new quality altcoin with a real modus operandi and reason for existing remaining. And the rest could all be consolidated in or just be cleaned out. I'd prefer to see that, but who knows? We may not get that. They might limp on for ages, and you'll have these zombie miner coins, people paying for anything. I don't know. But I think then you need a death. Okay, that's it on crypto. Hope that was useful. May split this up into parts so that you consume it. Did you hit the bell? Did you subscribe? If you're serious and you want to grow and grow and grow and have a lifestyle trader and escape the 14-hour days in those horrific corporate job environments with a boss telling you what to do, time to pull the ripcord on that parachute, and you start by giving us a ring. Okay, only for the serious. Good night, and hope you enjoy, and speak to you all soon. Bye, bye, bye.